Hi, hi, welcome. I had to do an impromptu live because I kept trying to film this full video 4 times and it would not upload. It was blank. It was weird. So I was like, well, okay, I'm just going to live. So, I, if you all can see this, and you're entering, we'll wait for people to enter. Give a thumbs up so I know you're seeing this because it's been so frustrating. I've spent the last hour trying to film this video and go live, and it wasn't working. It's so weird. So finally, I was like, something is not letting me film this video. So I was like, I'm going to do this live. Mm, this is not wine. It's a vitamin C drink because been around a lot of sick people lately and I do not want to get sick. So the video I was trying to film. Oh, wait, can I see comments? Why does it say something went wrong? Why am I seeing that? See, this is so weird. If you guys, why can't I see comments? Let's see. Something went wrong on YouTube, it says. Let me press edit. Why can't I see comments? Dang it. Let's see. Let me see if I can correct this. Because it says where comments are, it says something went wrong. There's like a little monkey with a hammer. Uh, I don't know. You guys, I cannot see comments for some reason. That's just bizarre. But I can see that you're here. I can see that there's people in the room. This has just been the most bizarre thing. So I'm going to do this video now. I'm not going to be able to see your comments. So bizarre. Let me see if I click this. Share screen. No. Settings, maybe change that. No, that's not getting. Oh, maybe click on this send feedback. No, I don't want that. No. Huh. It just won't let me see any comments. Isn't that bizarre? Well, okay. I'm just going to redo this video here because, again, if you're just joining us, I was trying to film my video and I'm entitling it, Here's What Doctors Say Why Your House is Haunted, or something along those lines. And it will not let me upload this. It's so bizarre. Well, first, I'm going to tell you that yes, there are real doctors behind saying there is paranormal phenomena going on. For example, Dr. Richard Gallagher, Dr. Scott Peck, and the Circe group out of France, and parapsychologists like Dr. John Edward Mack have all worked with people that they believed were possessed. They experienced paranormal phenomenon and whatnot. So those are some doctors to refer to, but there's actually an agreed upon list of 10 signs your house is haunted, according to professionals. And I did want to point to, they did a survey in Syracuse. And listen to this. This is interesting because apparently Syracuse is ranked as the fourth likely city in the US to have ghosts. Okay, how bizarre is that? Like, what's happening in Syracuse? So, where they did this survey, this news station, WSYR TV, interviewed 1,000 different Americans and asked them, uh, are you having strange experiences in your house? We want to know if you live in a haunted house, right? So get this, out of 1,000 people, let's look at the statistics. 1 out of 3 reported hearing footsteps going up the stairs or down into the basement, or hearing unexplained disembodied voices. 1 out of 3. That's interesting. 1 in 5 actually saw something like a misty figure, a ghostly figure. One even said they were buying this house and their child was in the basement and kind of staring and talking to something they couldn't see. And then the person saw like a bright flash of something. And yeah, apparently it was the person that had died in the home. Yeah, that went. But then this is kind of weird and super spooky. 1 out of 10 of those 1,000 that were interviewed said they've used a Ouija board at home. And 42% said they'd never do it again. Like, what is up with everyone using a Ouija board? I've always said, and it's like opening the front door of your home. You don't know who's going to walk in. Mostly it's just going to be your kind neighbors, but anything could walk in, right? Same thing with a Ouija board. You open that up, any energy can just come on through, enter the party, right? Yeah. So But that was weird that so many people had tried out a Ouija board, but almost half of them said they'd never do it again. Okay, interesting. So then in this video I was trying to make and it wouldn't upload, it was blank. And I tried 4 times and I've spent an hour. And finally, that's why I'm doing this live because it wouldn't let me do it. The top 10 things to let you know your house is haunted. Some of you are going to be familiar with this, some of you won't be, but here's the thing. Guess what family member is always the first to know? It's your dog. The dog is always the first to know. It's true. Yeah, so let's get into this. So, yeah, your pets they sense the other side. They can see spirits. So, for example, does your dog just bark like crazy, run around the house, run out of the house, doesn't want to come back in? Or your cat, all their hair like sticks up on end, they become this little puffball, or they're hissing at the corner, or they're climbing the walls. Yeah. So cats and dogs have a real sensitivity to the other side. And spirits kind of they kind of go after pets too. Like you can see videos sometimes of like um, bright little orbs being around pets or young children, right? Like that is a real thing. The next thing is, and this one's interesting, is when you put your keys down in that special place on the kitchen counter, or you take your wedding ring off and you put it in a dish, and then you're going to get ready, you go to find that and it's not there. And you're like, that's why I have that dish. I always put it there so I don't lose it. You spend several hours trying to find it and you can't find it. And you've looked next to it, around it, several hours go by, you go back to that spot, and there they are. The keys are sitting on the counter, your ring is back in the what is that? Yeah, this is a phenomenon that people will say of things mysteriously moving around. That is one of the criteria of being in a haunted area, particularly a haunted house. The next one, I talk about this a lot. You walk in the room and there's that pipe smell or cigarette smell, or that's the perfume that your family member used to wear, right? So flowers, fragrance, pipe smoke, tobacco smoke. That's a big one of strange smells. Now, luckily, yes, I've talked about before the cigarette smell of my loved family member that passed on. I know it was her. But thank God I've never had, and I think it's extremely rare to smell like the sulfur or the rotting smell. That's very, very, very rare. Most people say it's pipe smoke, perfume, or roses or flowers, something like that. Hey, side note, since we're live, have you guys ever been to the Bellagio in Las Vegas and you walk in that garden area where they have all those real flowers and it smells like heaven? Have you guys ever had that? And this thing will not let me see comments for some reason. Something's wrong with YouTube. I don't know. I'm on my live. It won't let me see your comments. I am so sorry. But if you've ever smelled that it's kinda like what people are smelling. Yeah. I think now they're piping in smells to Bellagio because I don't think all of them are real anymore, but, the economy, what are they gonna do, right? Okay, the next sign, that professionals agree that this could be signs of living in a haunted house is cold spots. So, hey, it's summertime right now. You ever walk into that room and it's unusually cold? Or you're walking around, it's like, why is this one area right here cold and this one's not? Well, the theory is that spirits, souls, energy have to kind of pull energy or electricity around them, kind of to get that energy to manifest or to be there or to like give that message to their loved ones. So they'll have cold spots in the area. That is a known theory, and that's one of the signs of the haunting. Okay, other signs. Oh, this is an interesting one. So, not only just living in an old house, I mean, of course, in the United States, we don't have as many old houses as back in Europe, right? So, maybe on the East Coast, they still have some houses standing from the 1600s, right? From when the pilgrims first came over. But there are a lot of homes standing from the 1700s and, of course, the 1800s. But get this, if you live in a Victorian home, this is the theory. So in the Victorian age, apparently there was um, things going around like seances and having a spiritualist come to the house, and they would have their friends and neighbors gather around and listen to the spiritualist or have the seance. That was like a cultural thing back then. And some of these Victorian houses may have opened up, or this residual energy is now kind of circulating around that house. So a lot of people say that they see some of these criteria that I'm talking about in their old Victorian house. Isn't that interesting? Okay, this next one, it's tried and true, and that is your house has some history. So, personal experience, my house definitely has history. You guys know if you've watched my channel for a long time. Yeah, in this house, I'm sitting right now, sitting in this house right now. We've had some unusual occurrences. So, yeah, one day I was like, forget it. I'm doing a deep dive. My neighbors have been telling me things like, what is going on with this house? And it took me several hours. I found some newspaper articles that are archived in our Phoenix Public Library. And turns out, yeah, someone was killed in this house violently. The person that did it went to prison for manslaughter. And no wonder my husband sees shadow people in this house. He had someone hit him in the chest in this house right here when he was taking a nap. It woke him up from a deep sleep. And so, if your house has history, like where it's located, or your neighbors are telling you something, and then you do the deep dive and there's some history, yeah, that's probably criteria of a haunted house. There's my reflection. That was my question on another video. See, that's my hand, not a shadow person. It's my reflection back there. Mm. Okay. Sorry I keep drinking, but I've been at this for a while trying to get this video to post, and it wasn't letting me post it. It's still giving me problems because I can't see your comments. Okay. Well, which makes this really super frustrating because I would love to be able to see your comments on this video. So, what I will do is just to not to be annoying to people. This is the video that I wanted to make. So I'm going to go live now on my other channel. It's called Doc in the Den. Those of you that are here and have never heard of that channel, Doc in the Den, it's where it's more casual and laid back. But you know what we could talk about really quick? I mentioned those doctors that agree that the paranormal does exist. And let me just mention a little bit more about them. So, Dr. Richard Gallagher, and I've talked about him before, he's a psychiatrist. He has worked extensively with Catholic priests and has been an advisor to the International Association of Exorcists. He does have a book out, and I mean, his job is to tease out, is someone actually mentally ill, or are they truly being oppressed by spirits? Because he does believe that's possible. So that's one example of a doctor agreeing with haunting and having ominous spirits, whatnot. Dr. Peck is another psychiatrist who also works with Catholic priests. He also has a book out as well. And he also has to distinguish between mental illness and demonic possession. And he does say that patients could have both, that they could be mentally ill and possessed at the same time. But again, he's trying to tease out which one is not possessed and which one is. And there was even a psychiatrist that said, and I don't know their name, that was saying particularly mentally ill people, like say, I'm not saying bipolar people are not normal functioning people in society. They are, but there are some that say that they may have more of an insight um, into the other side. Go figure. And then I want to talk about the Circe group in France. It is a network of clinicians that include psychologists and psychiatrists that counsel individuals experiencing paranormal occurrences. And they've often been referred to this group from priests, and they focus on pathologizing these paranormal experiences. Like, they're not calling these people crazy. They are giving them credence to them seeing apparitions, hearing voices, etc. And they explore this without telling them like, well, you must be schizophrenic, right? So I think that's really amazing. And then John Edward Mack, he's a parapsychologist, and he has studied phenomena like apparitions, alien abductions, and things like that. And so he collaborates with a lot of spiritual figures as well. So isn't that interesting that there are a lot of psychiatrists, psychologists, religious figure that they are literally counseling people experiencing haunted houses and paranormal activity. I would say in our house here, I'm not calling it haunted. I'm not, because the energy here, it's really, really good. It's happy. It's pleasant. I haven't seen a shadow figure in this house. My husband has had the experiences. I have heard voices, not like crazy, just like a hello. I was like, what was that? Um, you know, and yeah. So uh, that's happened. And then a long time ago, I had my cat kind of go ballistic, like, meowing at the wall. There was nothing there. Um, my dog right now, oh, he's not in here right now. Like he's not been acting unusual. So I would say ours is super mild. Yeah. And probably because there's just so much good energy in the house. Hopefully the other things are just moving on. But yeah, a real true crime happened in this house. And I think that invited maybe this shadow person that my husband sees every now and then, because I don't think he expected to die that night when that fight went down in this house, because that's what happened here. Yeah, very unusual. Very unusual. So, okay, I can't see your comments. It's super frustrating. I don't know what's going on. So I'm going to end this live. I'm going to go to live next, right here in just a minute on my other channel, Doc in the Den. So if you guys want to join me over there in a minute, hopefully I can see your comments there and we can have a discussion. So I'll sign off this one now and head over to Doc in the Den. Thanks for being here.